Everybody, welcome to another WIP Wednesday. I'm Lizfaerie.
I'm Joey.
Okay, I said my name this time. Nice. We have a couple of weird, different types of whips to show you guys today. I say that in a way that makes it sound like it's, I don't know, it's nothing too weird. I'm sorry, this is crashing and burning fast. Right. So I've been working on a couple of sewing pieces, so I'm going to show you a couple of pieces like that, and I've also been working on some wire crochet pieces, and I've done a little bit more work on my Bear Girl doll, so that's the only really just classic amigurumi doll type thing, like what I usually make type thing that I'm going to show you, and everything else is just going to be some experimental stuff that I've been doing. So let's start with the Bear Girl, since she's on top of the pile, and she's like the only crochet thing. Well, I mean, there's other crochet things, I guess. She's like the most classic crocheted thing, because it's like, you know, it's a doll, so.
Oh, we don't have chat open.
Oh, yeah, huh? That's funny. I forgot to open chat. Okay, well, let me do that real quick. Sorry, guys. So here,
anyway,
hold this up for me and show it to the
us,
camera.
And we have no idea. So.
I know, right? Wait, what?
So here's Bear Doll from a distance.
What am I doing? Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm sorry, guys. So, I haven't done that much work on her this week. I started working on the leg just a little while ago, and I've gotten this far. I'm almost to the knee. I actually did it twice. I had to restart again. Oh, hey, it's Demon Lee. Sorry we missed your saying right? Hi. I wondered if you would be here. So hi, Demon Lee. Glad that you are here. I can see the chat now, so I'm just gonna, just to simplify things, let's just leave it in this window, and we can just do this. We can just have both here. Okay. And then the other thing that I did with this doll is I have added some eyeballs on her, as you can probably tell.
I know.
They're very, very strange looking at the moment.
Well, eyes at the moment. Well, it's just because you just set them in. I
just put them in.
No, I know.
There's nothing really done with them except that I pulled the face in a little bit underneath them, and I sewed down the eye. And I'm going to show you that a little closer so that you can see. Oh, hey, I didn't tuck this behind. Let me do that real quick. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right. So here she is, and her eyes are very bugged out. But you can tell they are just a plain wooden bead. You can see the middle of the bead here and here. So I've just sewn that into her face after I shaped the face a little bit. She's got a little bit of frowny face things going on right now, because that's like the scaffolding, I guess you could say, that I'm going to build for her eyelids at the top. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom and on the sides, just to make this have a more inset look, which is pretty much the same technique that I used when I was making the gems on Steven and Stevani.
Right.
I pulled the material in at the stomach here, and then I sewed the gem in place. And I think that on Steven, I don't know if I ever got around to it on Stevani, or either that or reverse. I don't remember which one I did it on, but I outlined the outside of it with stitching to make it look like it was inset into the body. And that's what I'm going to do with these eyes as well. And hopefully I'll be able to paint the eyes on instead of having to go to all the trouble of embroidering them and making the face get super stiff and hard as a rock and impossible to push a needle through after a while. Also, I think that this will give her a really cute, like, big-eyed kind of kawaii aesthetic, which is what I'm kind of going for as well.
Right.
So, so that'll be nice. And also, of course, it will be much, much faster than trying to embroider the eyes on. I actually made her head just a little bit big this time, because I knew that pulling in the material would make her head get a little smaller, and I wanted her to have kind of a big head. So I did make her with a slightly bigger head. I still have to shape the jaw and the head a little bit, and the neck. And here is that leg that I'm working on. I tried something trippy this time where I added a bunch of increases to the inner thigh to kind of pop it out right here. You can kind of barely see it, but it's got kind of like a little bulge here at the inner thigh. Just because I wanted to have that detail of the body type. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other leg, so she'll have just some intense thigh rub going on. But I'm loving how this doll is coming along, and hopefully my plan is that she will be done by next week. The body will definitely be done. Hopefully the face will all be done, and next week I should be working on her hair.
Yeah.
Because it'll take me about a week to finish the wig. So that's my plan. She looks a little funny with her leg all flat like that. Let me fix that. Okay. Cool. So I'm pretty excited about that doll.
Yeah,
Can't wait to be able to write down a pattern for it and be able to send that to you guys, or send it to you guys, show it to you guys.
Okay.
No, I will send it to each and every one of you.
Send it off to the person in store.
Okay, so let's go on a sewing stuff odyssey, I guess.
I know you can kind of see the pile of stuff in the background.
Yeah, it'll slowly reveal itself, I guess, a little bit as I pull stuff off of it. So the first thing I'll show you is this bodice. It's a bit janky, and that's because it is a prototype. So is that still out here? Yeah, it is. Could you grab the mermaid dress? It's right there. So this is a bodice that I've made a copy of it before, but it was kind of funky the first time I made it, and I wanted to perfect it. So that's the dress. If you guys have followed me on Instagram, I have a couple of pictures of myself wearing this dress on there. But it's basically the same type of style of bodice as this dress here. So I'm basically trying to perfect the pattern for this dress. And this is an original pattern dress that I've made for myself. And, oh, and here's a fun thing that I can show you guys is, where are they? There are some pockets.
Yeah.
Some side seam pockets hidden into this dress. So if I pull this up, you can see here's the pocket on the inside. So that's a nice little hidden
it's a
thing on this dress.
Super cute dress.
Yeah, I love this
You
dress.
got lots of compliments on that one.
And I used a shoelace to lace up the back so that I didn't have to do like a zipper or anything, just because it's like way easier to just do this. I have some really, really awful buttonholes that I made. They don't look too bad. Come on now. Okay, they're okay. But yeah, they were pretty bad. I think I went over them again. Maybe that's why they look okay now. But yeah, my buttonholes were not very nice, you guys. I freehanded it. I didn't use a buttonhole stitch. But yeah, so I'm trying to perfect this bodice. The darts are really, really tricky to get perfect. And let me show you guys a closer view of this thing, because I'll show you what I mean. So, so here's the material. This is a random material that we got in a box of random fabrics from an estate sale. And this one we just had like a ton of random, and I didn't really know what to do with it specifically. I thought maybe eventually it would be good to use for doll clothes, but for the moment I'll just use it to prototype something larger so that if I need to make something smaller, I can just cut little bits out of it.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But so here's that dart at the front of the bodice. And something that happens when you don't get darts perfect is you can kind of see it here, is there's like a little puckering thing that kind of happens. Like, do you see how it's kind of like it's got like a weird, like, it looks, you can see a lot clearer when it's on, but it has kind of like a pulled in, like almost like belly button-ish looking type of look when you don't do the darts perfectly. And the reason why I think that happened is because I think that once you get to the corner here, you can see where my line is, you're supposed to keep going up a little bit, like right along the edge for a ways to kind of like blend it in with the fabric seamlessly. And I didn't do that. I kind of just like chopped it right, kind of bluntly chopped it off. Hey, Galaxia, what's up?
The Nova has arrived.
Nice. So hopefully I can maybe pull out some of these stitches. I found my seam ripper, so I can pull out these and try to, you can see a couple of the lines that I tried to do, but the problem wasn't the angle. It was actually, the problem was that I needed to taper it down to the edge. So I'm going to try to do that and see if I can get this bodice just perfect. And if that's the only problem, then the pattern might be accurate. I just might need to fix this little technique here at the end. And I'm not going to show it to you guys on because that puckering on the bodice does not look flattering. Yeah, it's weird looking. I'm not going to describe it because it would be too much.
Right. Don't want to get demonetized. No.
Exactly. But yeah, let's just say unflattering. But yeah, you can see,
right?
Like, see how it kind of pulls in there towards the middle. We're doing well, Galaxia. We're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Just not getting enough done. That's my problem right now.
Working all the time, but not getting enough done.
Well, my main problem right now is I really need to vacuum because all this sewing has generated, you can even see little scraps on the ground everywhere in the background. There's one over there, there's a couple over there. There's little scraps of fabric everywhere, and that's just what happens when you cut out fabric. I've been doing a lot of cutting out fabric and also cutting out pattern pieces, so there's little bits of paper everywhere as well. So I really need to clean up and vacuum.
Lots of confetti.
So that's the first thing that I've been working on, and that pattern is pretty much left over from my the last time I used it, which was to make this dress.
Right.
So it's a lot it was a lot easier of a process to try to like fix that up. But the odyssey that I've been going on this week has been this shorts odyssey. Right. So here's my prototype for the shorts.
That's going down.
And they just barely fit me. I can just get them over my hips. But they're not the best fit. No, those pockets popped out. They're not the best fit.
They're pockets.
But this is another fabric that we just randomly got at
we got
in the same box of fabric.
There's so much of this fabric.
Yeah, there's a ton of this. So I just prototyped my shorts with it, and I'm not happy exactly with the curve of the crotch and the booty on this shorts. So I ended up making a new pattern for it. So this one was like the first prototype, and it fits, but it just doesn't fit really well in that spot. Right. So it just doesn't have the right shaped curve for my body type, I guess. Excuse me, sorry if I peaked the audio. So I have my pattern here. This is my final pattern that I've ended up with. I'm just gonna hold it up so you guys can see. Here's the back piece, and here is the front piece. And you can see there's like a whole lot less material on the front piece than the back piece, and that is because I have a pretty substantial booty, let's say. So
take that into account.
So that's one of the main reasons why it's been such a complicated process to make these in the first place. And one of my main problems that I was having too was that I was looking up references for like other patterns that people have done, and I was like, well, I can't be doing this right because that looks nothing like my pattern piece. Mine is like, it's way bigger and it's got a weird shape at the, like, but it's just me.
So why is
I'm
that?
The weird thing. But this one seems like it fits better. I haven't prototyped it again since I made the changes, right. So I'm going to do that. But before I do, let me show you guys the middle prototype that I made, just as like a sample for how I ended up, how I ended up getting how I ended up getting that pattern to work, I guess, or how I ended up writing up the pattern. So I have this small prototype here on this headless Barbie body.
Yeah, it's the same shorts, just mini.
Yeah, and I haven't finished them because there wasn't really a need to actually go all the way to finishing them.
It's kind of a cooler print on that scale.
Yeah, I kind of like how it looks on this scale a lot better. It almost has like a Hawaiian shorts type of aesthetic.
It looks like board
just
shorts.
Just because of how big the floral print looks on this scale.
Yeah.
So let me show you guys the closer up view of them. But yeah, especially this particular print, like the brown floral, it looks very Hawaiian shorts-ish.
But yeah, essentially those are the shorts, just real small.
Yeah. But these ones I did make to the Barbie, and as you can see, I put some reference lines on her body. Also, I'm in the process of sanding her panties off because I hate those molded panties. They're still there on the front, but the back, they have been sanded down. So actually, this Barbie body is also a WIP. Oh yeah, and I also did a little bit of, while we're here, I have been trying to do a little bit of modifications on the joints just so that she can actually move them a little bit further.
Yeah, it has a greater range of motion. That's such a trippy thing.
I just cut into the ball and socket joint just a little bit more. But there's only so much that I can do on this doll because it doesn't really have very great articulation. But that's okay. I don't necessarily need to have great articulation. Right. I just wanted her to be able to sit down like a normal person. Because before she could only get this far.
Right.
And that bugged me. So I sanded her until she could actually sit down. Barbie only lounge.
She can only lean back.
But and the other thing that bugs me is this permanently bent arm and this permanently straight arm. Ugh. But it's okay. Anyway. So, let me show you guys the pattern, though, because I actually made a little pattern for it. And here's the pocket. I did not make a pocket on this, because why? It would have been way too complicated.
Well, what if they want to put their keys in there or something? I don't know.
I don't have keys for these.
Oh.
But, if I was going to do that, I would have to have sewn it by hand because it would just be way too small to do it on the machine.
At that point, totally, just like why?
Yeah, exactly. And I did do this on the machine.
You could do it.
I'm a little bit. Oops, sorry. She slapped you guys.
Slapping the camera.
But yeah, I'm a little bit proud of the fact that I managed to do this on the machine. You can kind of sort of see it. I'm not sure if I actually finished the seams or not. Probably not. I would imagine I did not. Why would I do that?
Right.
I'm curious though. Let me see. Nope, of course I didn't. Right. Why would I do that? That would be ridiculous.
Making these was like semi-bragging rights and semi-why bother.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it did work pretty well for her body size and shape. And the way that I ended up getting this pattern was I literally well, when I made it with her, it was a lot easier, but the Barbie can put her hand in her pocket. I thought about that, but I was like, but why?
I know, then it'd have a reason for being bent. Would it come at that level?
No, it's not worth it.
Oh, okay.
But the way that
you have enough to do.
The way that I took this pattern though was here, let's pull these off of her so that you guys can see. If I line up this front piece and this back piece along the middle seam, because this is actually one leg of the shorts, if I line these two pattern pieces up, she should fit pretty much perfectly into that little hole with a little tiny bit of space at the back for the waistband. So in theory, that little butt-shaped bucket right there should fit her body. And that is what I ended up doing for my pattern as well, because I could not get the shape right for my own.
Right.
Or I couldn't get the size correct, I guess. So I literally laid down on the ground horizontally.
We had like a big poster, like sketch paper, basically, that we put on the ground. And, oh yeah, there it is.
And here's my booty. And it's really funny, if I fold it out, it's a heart.
Yay.
But so yeah,
But yeah, literally
that
laid
was
on the
how.
ground sideways and basically sketched or drew your silhouette.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like the best way to get it accurate, I guess, like to just get the curve right. And then this is really cool too because then I could potentially use the same curve like and go all the way down the curve to make it a fitted style instead of a loose fitting style.
Right.
So that might be nice to try too eventually. So that is the shorts journey so far. Hopefully, eventually, I'll actually have,
You'll have
my
a pair of
shorts.
At the end of this shorts journey.
I was actually able to repair. I made a while back. I made a couple of pairs of shorts, and one of them that didn't fit very well. I was able to fix it using this measurement, so now it fits. So that's nice. Okay. That's the shorts pattern piece.
And then we got the hot air balloon fabric. Is that what's next?
Well, I mean, kind of wanted to just show you guys real quick. I kind of wanted to show you guys all of the fabrics that I'm just working on right now, or that I'm going to be working on to make all of the various pieces that I'm working on.
I know, right?
So
yeah.
let's just go through a couple of those real quick.
They're works in progress because they're about to be worked on.
And I might not be using all of these, and I don't really know what I'm using all of them for specifically yet.
Oh, so if you have ideas for what Liz should make with certain fabrics.
Didn't I have a pair of leggings that I was going to show you guys? Oh, wait, is that it? No, that's just more of this fabric. Well, that's okay. I'll show you the fabric, but you'll have to believe me when I tell you that I was making leggings. I don't know where they went.
They're bound to be walking around here somewhere.
So let me show you guys the fabric real quick. Actually ironed this. It's crazy. Why did I do that to myself? Because I only used a very small amount of it, and then I folded up the rest of it very badly, so I ended up not needing to iron it for the most part. Let me just throw those on the ground. It's just much easier that way. Here, let me just unfold this a little bit. It doesn't really matter. It's not very well folded. Anyway, so here's this fabric. It's just some nice, cute hot air balloon fabrics. Visor covers. Yeah, that is a trippy thing to make. But yeah, I do like making utilitarian things, so that's cool.
Yeah, things that
Nice.
actually.
I mean, I guess clothing is also inherently utilitarian, kind of.
Right, otherwise you'd be naked.
Although I guess it doesn't need to be cute to be utilized. But whatever. So this is a super cute hot air balloon fabric. I'm in the process of making a pair of leggings. Is that them? Could you grab them? They're right there.
Oh yeah.
I knew I had them around here somewhere. So here's the leggings that I've been making. I'm not gonna turn them inside out because that would just be too much trouble. But yeah, you can see they're leggings shaped. So yeah, believe me, they're leggings. But they're using this same print. The only thing with this that's a little unfortunate is that they're only two-way stretch instead of one-way stretch, or instead of four-way stretch, which usually when making leggings, it's better to be using super stretchy cotton spandex type material, and
Right.
this is just a stretchy cotton jersey fabric, so it probably is just 50% or so stretch, and only this way rather than this way. It doesn't actually stretch on this angle. Well, it does a little tiny bit, but only about as much as you would expect fabric normally to stretch. Yeah, exactly. So this would probably be better for making something like shirts, dresses, that sort of thing, but I did want to make a pair of leggings out of it, and I did, and it's a little tougher than it needed to be, but it's working, so that's all that matters.
Right.
What I'm gonna maybe do with the rest of this is maybe I will make a I was thinking of making a dress that is kind of similar to the one that I'm wearing, that has like a seam up here very high and a shorter skirt that's like that comes up to maybe about like my knee, so like you can't really see because that stuff is in the background and everything we own is black.
It's all
so
black.
Sorry guys, but yeah, something like this that I'm currently wearing, but with this print, so that it's a little bit more. Well, I mean, we wouldn't have this problem with this print because it would be much brighter.
Right.
But I do want to try to get a little bit more cute, bright colored clothing items. So that's one of the things that I want to do with this print. And it'll be funny to have a pair of leggings and a matching dress. It would be funny to wear them at the same time.
I know, right?
I do already have a pair of leggings that match that one dress, but the dress is, I still didn't finish
Make
it.
a hat out of it.
Should have brought that out actually, because
Make
that's
some
still
gloves. Just a full bodysuit, all hot air balloons.
okay.
Right.
This next one, I think you guys have seen before because we've actually just used it in the background.
Yeah, right.
This one is just a basic pink floral,
right.
like
I know
former
you
sheet.
may recognize this backdrop from a recent.
But yeah, might make a skirt out of this or something like that. I don't really know. Oh, thank you. I really like this dress. It's my mom randomly gave it to me, but I love black lace, and the black lace is so cool, and it's so stretchy. So stretchy. I almost wish that I didn't like the dress so much because there's so much cool stuff I could do with this lace. But I like this dress a lot, so I think it would look really cute with like a little corset too.
Yeah, right.
Like an underbust corset. Anyway, so I might make like a skirt or something out of this. I don't know, maybe like a ruffled like thing.
Some type of poofy ruffled thing.
Maybe. I haven't really ruffled like successfully before, and I want to do it.
Be a good skill to practice.
I mean, I guess. Kind of. Would it though? What need is there for ruffles in this world?
Well, if you think ruffles are cute, then there's a need for
but
it.
I mean, like, it's not exactly like
It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there. There we go. Oh yeah, and there's this gigantic amount of fabric. You might not even be able to see what it looks like because of how dark it is and how dark everything in the background is. But yeah, this is here. Let's actually just make it big. This one doesn't have a print. It's just a dark purple.
And we have a lot.
But yeah, there's so much of this fabric, and most of these fabrics, by the way, are thrifted from like estate sales and stuff like that. So we live in a pretty large.
A couple of boxes for like super cheap.
And this one actually came from a thrift store, and it's crazy because I don't remember. I think we measured it, but I can't remember how many yards it was. It's like a lot though. It might be like 5 yards, something like that, and it was like $5. And it's like a really nice like lightweight cotton. It feels like. Yeah,
I can't be certain.
And it's so much fabric. It's so heavy. But let me show you guys on this camera just to see. Oh, well, it's not bad. It's a little bluer than it is in real life.
It's like a violet or indigo.
Yeah, it's a little bit more purple than that, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what to make out of it just because I have so much.
I know, right?
Like, freaking Joey's sister was here the other day, and she said that I could make a ball gown out of it because there's so much.
That would be perfect.
I've maybe, because I mean, I've always been a fan of the Lolita aesthetic, and I think it would be cool to try to make some Lolita style pieces. And obviously, like, Lolita is very, very expensive clothing to buy. So if I was going to ever get anything like that, it would have to be handmade. I would have to make it because there's no other way that I could afford anything like that.
Well, and then your particular size and stuff too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no way. There's just no way.
Demon says make a Kiki's delivery service dress. That is
exactly the right color.
That's true.
That would be pretty cute.
That's good call.
Yeah, that would be pretty cute. And there's like plenty of fabric. Like I could definitely get like a really nice like circle skirt from this. And it might even just be one cut of fabric, which would be epic.
Serious.
That would be really cool. So...
yeah. Nice. Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be really cool. Thanks for that, Demon Lee. Yeah. I would not have thought of that.
Keep an eye out for that, and whenever that happens. Next. Oh yeah, this one's super cool.
Yeah, I love this fabric. This one is not thrifted. This one I actually got from Joann's like super on sale because I was like waiting for it to I was waiting for it to be on sale. and I did get it, but this one is one of those this is one of those space fabrics. You can kind of see the glittering a little bit from here, but yeah, it's very very sparkly. And I don't think it is glitter. I think it's actually like painted on somehow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the glitter is like glued on or something. I'm not sure exactly, but it doesn't seem to be coming off onto anything. I was worried about that, but it doesn't seem like it's coming off onto anything. It seems like it's pretty well made. So let's have a look at that closer up. Here we go. But yeah, you can really see like the nuance of the galaxy look here, and like those nice little little purple star shapes are a really nice touch. But I really love the way that they did the star scatter with the glitter. And I don't know what kind of glue they used or how they did the glitter, but it doesn't seem like it's coming off on me or anything. Like,
yeah, and I don't know what would be good to make up with this.
Yeah, I don't have too much of this one. I think I maybe have like 2 or 3 yards or something like that. So I can't make something crazy big, but
let's make like a bodice or something.
I don't know. It's too hard. I don't want to mess it up. I want to do something easier so that I don't run the risk of destroying it.
That's true. Because
it's too cute. I don't want to mess it up. I could maybe do like a circle skirt thing with like a simple bodice, maybe. But I just, my last bodice took a long time to get right, and I'm just scared. I don't want to mess up my fabric. It's too cute. What are you doing here? Get back there. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Right?
That's like aesthetic goals. Are you kidding me? That's like
should base a dress.
What is that freaking? What is that like freaking Harajuku? Like there's like a Harajuku aesthetic, like that's like space girl looking stuff that like straight up Miss Frizzle aesthetic. I love that look. I wanna be that. That's what I want. That's goals. I want to be Miss Frizzle. Like literally, I just want to be her.
Yeah.
So here's another print that I got. This one is also from Joann's. Also, I got for sale, possibly at the same time. You definitely cannot see it very well in this camera. You can kind of see what it is. It's like some autumn leaves on a black background with like swirly, branchy looking things in the middle, which is kind of what all that speckly gray stuff is. You can't really see. So let me show you guys close.
Bring it up a little closer.
But yeah, this is another one that I got on sale, and I had also been looking at this one for a little while. They had a bunch of these in just different colors, and they were all like just different like background colors with all the same leaf motifs on the front, on the foreground, I should say. Could I have some more tea? Thank you. So there was, I think there maybe was a navy blue one, there's a green one, there's a brown one, and then there was this black one. And I kind of like the way the black one looks best, so I kind of got lucky that that was the one that they happened. I think they actually sold out of all the other ones except for the one that I wanted, so it was kind of
fortuitous.
Okay. But yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to make with this one, honestly. I might not even make something with this one right now. I might just hoard this one for a while until I think of something that, like, that I really want to make. I just really wanted this fabric, so.
Yeah, no, it's cute.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And now the last fabric is, like, the best one.
Yeah.
This one I should show you guys closer or farther away because of how big the print is. So this is like, I'm probably gonna make myself a little pinafore with this. So it is a floral print, like a floral desert print with a black background. You can maybe see when we hold it up like this, that there are actually a bunch of cactuses and cactus flowers on it. Not sure if you can really tell. It's a bit hard to tell, but see, where is it? There it is. There's one right there. You can kind of see all those rounded shapes of all the cactus nodes popping out, and there's some flowers that are just popping off of the cactus itself. But here, let's show you guys a little bit closer. But yeah, so you can see there's like a bunch of little cactuses here. There's a little succulent there. And some more cactuses here. But yeah, I love this print.
Super vibrant. Like, it's very saturated color.
And it's like, you can really, really tell that this is like a really nice high-end fabric that just never got used, like, at all. We got this one at a rummage sale, I think. Yeah. And this one was like, I can't remember. Was it like $4? Something like that? I can't remember. But it was like so inexpensive for the price. Like, I love how this flower looks. And like, I just love the colors and like just the detail. Like, it looks so great.
I know, and
I love this print. And
at
like,
least like a dozen colors too in it.
Oh yeah, no, there's so many different colors on this. It's ridiculous. It's on the other side. But yeah, like, you can see all of the different dyes. But and I have no idea how old this fabric is because we did get it at a rummage sale, but like, it doesn't seem like it's that old. Like, it doesn't have like any particular smells to it or anything like that. And it feels like really nice. Like, it doesn't feel like worn or anything like that. Like, it's been kept really nice if it is old. But the only downside obviously is that this is all I get.
Right.
I can't have any more of this fabric. This is as much as I get to use. But that's the other reason why I want to make sure and be careful. I was originally going to try to make a romper out of this, but the shorts just scare me too much.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I'm brave enough to do that.
Too complex where if you mess something up, there's just nothing to fix it with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't just go get more of this fabric, so. But yeah, this I'm really excited about because, like, well, I mean, I love cactuses, first of all. I just love the way that cactuses look. Right. Like, I grew up around cactuses.
Grew up in Southern California.
Like, yeah, we ate a lot of cactus I ate a lot of cactuses when I was a kid. It was like, it still is one of my favorite things to eat. Pears. Like, I love cactus, and prickly pears are one of my favorite fruits. So I need to just rep the cactus more. So this will be an excellent addition to the collection. I was so excited when I found this fabric. I was like, I need this fabric. And it's just really cool going to things like thrift stores and rummage sales and finding really nice cuts of fabric like this. Because you can find some really, really gorgeous like gems. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some real treasures you can find.
Yeah, totally. My only sadness with this is that I can't find it again.
Right.
I mean, maybe if I because I do have the little information on the printing company on the side, so maybe I could try to hunt it down, maybe, but it's very unlikely that I'd be able to find it.
Hunt down the printing company and then go through like tons and tons and tons because there's just the printing company, right? There's no name of what the fabric is there?
No, it just says the name of the company. It doesn't say the name of the fabric itself.
So you have to
print.
pour through like
I'd have to be like cactus, floral, black background.
I know,
maybe?
Right?
I don't know.
Just start looking.
Okay, so
was that the last fabric?
That is the last fabric. So now we can move on to all of these little jewelry pieces.
Oh yeah.
Yep. As the title of the stream suggests, we have some necklace things to show you guys, right? That is what the title of the stream is. Let me check just to make sure I didn't say the wrong thing. Yeah, necklaces. I was right. Cool.
So, in case you were confused before, here we go.
Okay. So, First, I'm just going to show you a bunch of random little pieces of jewelry that I am going to try to make into other pieces. Just because I found them in my... I was going through beads and stuff today just to look for stuff to add to these necklaces, and I found a bunch of pieces that I'm going to try to add into necklaces maybe next week or sometime after. So the first thing that I'm going to show you guys is these peacocks. This was a pair of old earrings, and I think one of them broke, so I just busted the other one so that I could have the two peacocks. And I don't really wear giant earrings anymore, so I didn't really want to replace them with more giant earring
right.
parts. So I think I'm actually going to make them into another choker necklace. And as you guys can probably tell, I do love choker necklaces. I do definitely wear them a lot more than just regular necklaces. So this one, I'm... Shh.
Be quiet.
Sorry about that. So this one I'm probably just going to make into another choker necklace. The one thing that I'm a little bit on the fence about is because these are probably going to be like resting on the collarbones. So I'm probably going to need to have something in the center and maybe something coming down the middle. I can't really decide on what type of thing would match with two peacocks. I was looking at a bunch of peacock style peacock decorated necklace things, but a lot of them will just do one peacock, you know, instead of two. So I mean,
a little peacock feather,
or like an eyeball thing.
Yeah.
Well, because like peacocks have like the eye shape on
the eye thing on the feather. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just for something to go in the center.
Hey, it's D.
D, what's up?
How's it going? Glad you made it.
All right. So here's this random thing. It looks so yellow because this was this is like a random piece of resin that used to be on a necklace, and you can see there's a ton of scratches on the back because this actually used to have like a paper like glued to the back. I think it was probably just resined directly onto the paper with how strongly it was stuck on there, that I just sanded it off because over time the resin yellowed so much that the little paper thing on the back, it just did not look good anymore because it was a zebra print sticker thing. So it was like a little zebra print heart gem thing. And I think my mom gave me this necklace a while back because, I mean, back in the 2000s, I was one of those people that wore a lot of zebra and leopard print.
A lot of animal print.
And
fierce.
To this day, my mom still is like, you like zebras, take this zebra stuff. All the zebras for you. And I'm like, thanks. But I don't really wear that much anymore. But I actually never got around to wearing this necklace at all, and then it eventually just yellowed so much that I was like, I don't want to wear that. It just doesn't exactly look nice to have just like a zebra print with like yellow overlaid on top of it. Yeah, it didn't really look nice, so I just sanded it off, and now I just have this chunk of yellow heart resin, and I literally have no idea what to do with this. Like, it's just a random yellow heart. But I'm sure I can do something with it.
You should back it with yellow and just make it totally yellow.
Go all in
just
on
go
the yellow.
All yellow, because you're not going to be able
I
to
can't
get
fight
rid
it. Yeah, I know.
'cause you can't get
or
rid
I
of
could
the
make it green, I guess.
Put blue on the back.
I could put just green, and then it would just be a slightly yellower green.
Good point.
But yeah, I could do like green or something, and then it would probably like look okay. I'm not the fondest of yellow. And this is not a pleasant shade of yellow either.
It's not the best yellow.
It's not a very nice shade of yellow. It's kind of like a watered down, like...
It's kind of like nicotine stained yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. And that's just because it's like UV destroyed resin yellow. Like, that's the shade. It's like, it's not very high quality resin yellow. Because if you have nicer resin, that doesn't happen as much. But that happened a lot on this.
Right.
Now here's another probably made of resin, or maybe this is glass, actually. It feels like glass. It's cold. But here's another random charm. I think my cousin gave me this one. And I always loved this charm so much. This was one of my favorite necklaces. But then it just the necklace that it came on broke after a while. I think
Right.
maybe because the charm is just so heavy because it's made of glass. So I think I'm maybe going to crochet a
Nice.
I'm going to crochet a necklace out of hemp twine to hold on to this, because that should hold on to it really well without breaking. And maybe while I'm at it, I'll throw some beads on it as well.
Right. That would be cute.
Yeah, I love this thing. And I really, really like wearing brown. It's one of my favorite shades. So, looks really cute. And it's like super like metallic, like coppery. I love that. Copper and brass are like my favorite metallics. Which you might have been able to tell from all of my brass mermaids.
Right. Yeah, gold's a bit too much.
Yeah, I'm not into gold. Silver's
But
cool, but
silver-
I love brass and copper.
Yeah, I like silver a lot.
I also made this little guy to go on one of the chokers. I'm probably just going to make a ribbon choker for this one. But
Cute.
I just took some craft wire and I looped around at the bottom here to make, I'm not sure if it wants to look at those peacocks. Let's cover those up as best we can. There we go.
Yeah.
So I just kind of looped the bottom of the wire up so that it wouldn't be able to go through, and then I kind of tucked the ends of the wire in underneath so that they weren't exposed. And then the top I twisted into, or I opened up into a ring.
Nice.
So this I'm going to use as a dangly charm on the next choker that I make. I actually scratched this up by accident a couple of times while I was making it, so let's just turn that the other way. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm probably gonna like string it onto like some sort of bead or something and then put that onto the ribbon. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet, but this is probably gonna go onto a ribbon, similar to the way that this one that I'm wearing is, with this little dangly bit, but with just a plain black ribbon and a pearl bead. And then this, because of this one that I made the other day, and I joked about it being like a cat collar. I actually think I will make myself a cat collar. Yeah. And I have this large bell that I'm going to add to it the same way that I added this to it, but it will just be able to like make some cute noise. And that'll probably just be something that maybe I'll wear when I do my cat cosplay stuff.
Nice.
Okay, now let's look at the actual necklace things that I've made.
Yeah, those are just all the charms that are eventually going to be put onto necklaces or something.
So let me show you guys this one that I made that is already finished. I showed you guys this one last week on Friday.
On this one.
So this is the first one that I made, and I did this middle section with broomstick lace, and that is why it has that that look. That is what broomstick lace tends to look like. You can also like group all of the stitches together, and like there's a lot of stuff you can do with broomstick lace. It's pretty cool. So this was the first experiment that I did, and I used this little charm that we just found somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where we found it, but yeah, I really like this little charm, and I think this came out pretty cute. Like, it's a pretty nice little choker. And the back just ties together. And I just made the whole thing with, what is it called? Aunt Lydia's cotton, crochet cotton thread or whatever. So yeah, it's just a nice cotton necklace.
Demonly's all for the cat collar.
Nice.
And I guess Steve didn't get a notification.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you saw that we were on, though.
Yeah, it's a good coincidence.
I know, right?
So here is the next choker experiment that I've been working on. This one is not finished yet. And this one I did with 2 different layers of broomstick lace so that it really stands out on because this the other one that I did, it kind of like because it's just the one layer, it doesn't show as much, but I think with the 2 layers it really stands out a lot better.
Right.
So this one, I think I'm just going to make just a plain choker that is going to attach at the top and the bottom around the back of my neck. And I don't think I'm going to add any embellishments to this one. It's just going to be the plain lace choker. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do the closure on this one.
Right.
I might do those little clasp thingies. I can't find my clasps. That's why I haven't been putting closures on literally anything. I can't find them.
Is so easy to lose.
Well, I have all of them together in a little bag somewhere. It's just I don't know if I've used it since we moved. So
right, yeah.
I have no idea where it is. So I'm pretty excited about the broomstick lace. Like, I think this would be a cool technique to actually try to do with the crochet wire as well. Because that would look really trippy, and it would definitely hold its shape a lot better.
Right.
Where this tends to like kind of warp and crumple a little bit if you like pull it too tight sometimes around your neck, or if you like pull it too much from like the corners, it'll tend to like kind of like fold on itself like that a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I just have to make sure that I give it enough slack. But it would be trippy to try doing something like this with wire to see if it holds its shape better. Okay. So, speaking of wire, here's the first wire piece that I made. It looks much more interesting than it is because I bent it into this shape. Because it's just, literally, this is just a strand of double crochets. And I didn't really like how it, like, looked. It looked too messy, kind of. And then also I somehow made it too big. So it somehow came out bigger than intended. Right. So this crimping that I did was kind of just to make it small enough, like to make it the right size. Right.
So now is it like a spike collar?
So now it's kind of like a spiked collar, yes. And I think I might just do like a little bit more embellishing on the top and the bottom just to kind of set these ruffles into it. Right. Just kind of go around with like a chain and like leave these popping out so that it does have the spikes sticking out. But this was the first wire crochet thing that I made, and my stitching is not very neat. And
that's a tough
the chains at the bottom are tighter than the stitches at the top, so that's why I got a lot more of a ruffled shape.
Right.
But it still came out too big at the bottom too. So the chain was also too big, and I'm just like, how did that happen? I'm pretty sure I measured it, but whatever.
Yeah.
And now the last one that I want to show you, well, actually, before we do that, I forgot, real quick, let me show you guys these. So these are my, I should have brought out the finished ones. Well, I'll show you guys that on a Friday sometime.
Yeah.
So, these are, maybe you can tell, they're the fire flower and the ice flower from the Mario series. And I have a partially finished one-up mushroom and a partially finished Goomba here. The Goomba is very partially finished. It's literally just a cap.
Yeah, for real.
But this is the same pattern that I made for my my spotted mushrooms, except this one I did before I started making the spots, like as part of the color changes. So, but I found these while I was going through the jewelry stuff, and I forgot that I had been making a bunch of these to make for jewelry items.
Right.
So, I actually made a while back, I made one of each of these in the same size, which is funny because they're about in between the size of these two that I have here. This one's smaller and this one's bigger than the two that I made. I made one fire and one ice, and then I also made a one-up and a
power-up mushroom?
Is it just called a power-up mushroom?
I guess.
That's a weird thing to call the ones that make you big.
Yeah.
The red one.
The red mushroom.
So I made a red and a green mushroom. I'm sorry, it gave me pause for a minute. I didn't know what to call it.
What is the title?
What is the title of that kind of mushroom? Just red mushroom that makes you big. But I made those a while back, and I made them into a bunch of earrings so that I could basically switch out all of the power-ups and like basically like wear one of the red flower with the red mushroom, or the green mushroom and the red mushroom together, or the two types of flower together, or whatever, just to kind of mix and match the earrings. And I made this one because I wanted to make a necklace out of it, so it's slightly bigger. And then this one I think I made like just as a prototype, maybe first. It's funny, this was actually one of the first patterns that I made on the channel was for the fire flower, and that pattern is no longer available. It is actually privated because it's not edited well and the audio is bad. So if you guys would like me to do this again, I would definitely be into doing that.
Yeah.
Because I really love how these flowers came out. They're super cute.
Yeah, they are.
And D says, never thought about wire crochet. We'll have to try it. Yeah, wire crochet it's pretty hard, and you have to get the right gauge of wire. Make sure that you get the thinnest wire possible, and make sure that you can move it really comfortably with your fingers, because otherwise it won't work.
It's gonna be killer.
And also, it might destroy your hook, so don't use your favorite hook. It might scratch it up a lot.
Right.
Because the metal just moving across the hook will just stress the hook over time and scratch it up. And like sometimes that can destroy the hook.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that,
careful.
Try to use a hook specifically for the wire crocheting process. And I think sometimes I've heard that maybe using a steel hook is better than using an aluminum one because it doesn't take as much damage because it's a little harder.
Yeah.
So if you have a steel hook, try to use that. And if you don't, just dedicate an aluminum hook to wire crocheting and then be prepared to buy a new one eventually because it'll probably wear down and start like scratching the wire and stuff like that. And that's no good. So let's go back to these guys.
D says they're super cute. Love Super Mario. Still play it on their Wii.
Nice. Oh, I wish we had an HDMI adapter for our Wii. We really need to get our Wii connected.
We also have like most of the Mario titles on my Wii, but our TV's too smart for it. We have to get a converter table.
Yeah, we need to get the cable definitely. Yeah, we should definitely look into getting that. So I want to make, I think the Goomba I was actually making to go with that earrings set, but I never got around to finishing it. So I need to finish my Goomba so that I can add that to my mix and match Mario earrings.
Yeah, no, those are super cute. I really like the mushrooms that you made.
And D says, good tip on wire crochet. You're welcome, D. It's just good to bear in mind ahead of time so that you don't totally wreck your hook.
Yeah, because it's kind of entering a different medium almost.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a different medium. Okay, so now with that, let me show you my wire crochet necklace that I just got pretty much finished.
Yeah, no, this thing was pretty cool.
So this is the one that I just finished crocheting. And as you can see, there is a ribbon base that I used. And here you can see I actually sewed the wire through the ribbon on both sides, and I actually like looped it here so that I could crochet on top of it, and I crocheted on all of those stitches that I looped through the ribbon. And I say that I sewed it on, but I guess I used that term loosely. I didn't use a needle. I just used the pointy sharp end of the wire itself to kind of just poke through.
Like threaded it through.
Yeah, I threaded it through basically as if I was just doing a straight stitch, but instead of a needle, I was just using wire. So I put that in as a base and to kind of just give the wire more, the ribbon more shape. And then I just crocheted on top of that wire base. And all of this is just chains and slip stitches, except for right here I did a few double crochets just to kind of add a little bit of wire like detail, I guess, onto the middle.
Embellishment.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to maybe add a little bit of hanging beads to right here so that there's something hanging right here and right here and right here. And maybe a little one right here too. But I definitely think it needs something, and probably like something maybe black, like some black gems or something, just to tie the whole thing together. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is going so far. I still have my wire end that I haven't woven in. And I just left these 2 loops here at the back, so I can pretty much do whatever to add a closure to this. I could add ribbons to tie, or I could like add some crochet thread to tie it, or I could add any kind of hardware clasp type thing, probably. I could easily just put some type of chains directly onto the crochet chains. So if I put it on, you probably can't see it very well.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see the...
Can you kind of see it if I do this, guys? I'll have to post some photos to Instagram later, so if you guys want to check that out, you guys should follow me on Instagram. I'm at Lizfaerie, spelt the same way that the channel is spelt. Thank you so much, Dee. Okay, well, that is our last WIP, you guys. So
thank you so much for everyone that joined in chat, or everyone that's watching in the archives. Especially, though, to Demonly, D, and Galaxia for
thanks for hanging out with us and chatting with us, you guys.
You know, hanging out, having people to talk to, basically, while we're doing the stream makes it, you know, just a lot more comfortable for us, and yeah, just more fun.
Yeah, and I definitely really, really appreciate your guys' feedback and all of your advice, and also all of your ideas on things that I'm going to be making, like for all of the fabric that I showed you guys, and it was just really nice getting your guys' feedback.
Kiki's delivery service.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously.
Right, we need to watch that again.
So, real quick before we go, we're just going to mention that we are off next week. So, let me put my necklace back on. Yeah, we're off next, or is it next week?
No, it's the week after.
No, it's the week after. Okay, so we have one more WIP Wednesday,
One more WIP Wednesday
next week. What?
Unless we turn it into Finished Pieces Friday.
We might, just in case,
but
we'll see. So we're definitely streaming next week then. We're definitely going to stream next week, but we will let you guys know later in the week whether or not I will have enough progress to show you guys more progress on anything, or if we'll be doing another Finished Pieces Friday this week. So keep an eye on the channel. That'll be posted in the community tab, and I might also post to the page on Facebook, and that's it, really.
Yeah, and I guess try and hit that bell and see if it actually notifies you.
Yeah, hit the bell next to the subscription button, and that should give you notifications.
In theory, that should notify you, but generally, though, our schedule is we're trying to do every Wednesday except for the first Wednesday of the month. Is generally what we're trying to do, in case you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so the first Wednesday of the month, which is in 2 weeks, let's look at the calendar. All right. So next week is our last WIP Wednesday, and then the week after that, which is the 7th of next month, we will be off. And we may or may not be off the next week after that, just because we will be actually on vacation for that week. So I might not be able to get to any WIPs, but I might also be able to get to WIPs, because sometimes I get to a lot during vacation times. So who knows? We'll see.
Right, it's a gamble.
Well, I mean, it's a long drive, so.
That's true.
So, we'll see you guys next week, either on Wednesday or Friday. We'll let you guys know. And thanks so much for coming and for tuning in and chatting with us again for another WIP Wednesday. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.